Starting off in the Frontier. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be doing a review on a 2022 Nissan Frontier Pro-4X. Now this is going to be the walk around and then the on-road review. I am going to be posting some off-road reviews in the very near future, so if you aren't subscribed, I'd recommend subscribing so you can see those off-road reviews with the new Frontier. That all being said, let's get right into it. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 3.8 liter V6 that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 310 horsepower and then 281 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the Pro-4X, and I have this perfectly positioned, so we've got half in shade and then half in the sun, so we can see like the paint, but then also we can see what the lights look like in the dark. I don't know, I think this is pretty cool what it did. But anyways, you can see that we've got these full LED lights with the reflector lights. I love the orange lights that have been integrated into it as well. And then notice down below we've got the fog lights, and then we have red tow hooks here with the skid plates. And that's part of the Pro-4X package, is you do get skid plates to add some protection when you do take this off-road. And then you guys can see the rest of the design here at the bottom. And then notice with the Nissan logo that they've kind of changed it a little bit here for the Pro-4X, where we've got the orange accenting on it, and all of that looks really good. And aside from that, that's the front end. And then you guys can take a closer look here at the green color here in the sunlight. Looks fantastic. Coming around the side here, we've got two 65mm tires wrapped on 17-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see with the design on the wheels themselves, you've got that dark gray, and it kind of has more of a satin finish on it. And then I like how they did the little bolts there. They're not real, but it looks cool from a design standpoint. And then notice another orange Nissan logo. And you can see the front suspension. This does come with the Bilstein monotube shocks, which are great for off-road use. And then notice here with the fender flare, which is pretty aggressive. And then we've got body painted mirrors. So we do have a camera there at the bottom, which will come in handy a little bit later, as you guys will see. Body painted door handles as well. And then we still have traditional leaf springs here in the back end. And then you guys can kind of see some stuff. I'll pop under so you can see those Bilstein shocks a little bit better. You can kind of see it from that angle there. And then also spare tire. Pretty cool. But yeah, that's everything for that. So I'll back up and get you guys as much of a side view as I possibly can. There you go. So here's our key fob. Notice we have the new version of the Nissan logo on it. We've got the remote start, we've got the lock, and then the unlock as well, which also unlocks the tailgate. This does have the slow lower down function on it. 1,020 pounds of payload. Towing capacity is over 6,000 pounds with the Frontier Pro-4X, which is pretty good for a mid-size, well, it's really good for a mid-size truck. Anyways, notice we have the LED lights, which are illuminated. We've got the cargo light there at the top. Notice that this one already has a liner from the factory, and then we've got the protection here on the tailgate area as well. We have a full power outlet right there for the bed. So lots of practical stuff. And then also you guys probably already saw with the tie downs here on either side. And so yeah, it's got everything you need and not too bad. Now let's finish things here in the rear. So we're gonna start things off with the taillights. I love the design of the new taillights. I love the design of this new Frontier in general, but these taillights look really sharp. Got the Pro-4X sticker there, and then notice we have Frontier stamped into the tailgate. Got the Nissan logo again that has the orange accenting for the Pro-4X package. Notice we got parking sensors all along the bottom portion right there, and then obviously we got to flex those manufacturer plates. The one thing I did want to show you guys is we do have the exhaust tip right there, and then this one is a pre-production model. It doesn't have a receiver hitch on it, but obviously you can get a receiver hitch from the factory to help out with, well, that's the only way you'd be able to tow. I was about to say to help out with towing. You can't tow with that one. Well, I mean, I guess you could do a fifth wheel, but anyways, that's the back end. Now here's the door panel in the rear. Notice we actually have soft touch here on the top, and then down below where you're going to rest your arm with the black stitching. And then here are the seats. I love the look of them. So really nice to the touch, actually nice padding and everything. But you've got a really cool design there in the center portion, and then the stitching throughout. And then notice how they make the leather on the side look like carbon fiber. I think that is really cool. Now popping in, if you guys are wondering, about 6 foot, here's legroom. I actually fit back here, so pretty cool. We've got some USBs there. We have another outlet, so we've got outlets all over. Couple cup holders. Let's head to the front. Now here's a door panel at the front. So again, we've got the soft touch here, and then we're gonna rest your arm as well. Got all your regular window controls here, the mirror adjustment, and then there are the mirrors. They do have blind spot monitoring. And then you can see down here below with the design on that. And then we do have the Fender sound system. I have been using this for about half a week now, and I really like the sound of the sound system. It just has really nice quality to it. And then here is the front seat. So again, you've got that same design with the leather, Pro-4X in the middle, and then obviously the design there at the top, and then the carbon fiber design here on the side. And then notice the adjustments there on the side of the seat. And then we've got the pedals down below with the rubber floor mats, which are great here because it's fall in Utah now, so it's just nice, helps keep things a little bit cleaner. And then notice you have the locker for the rear, stability control, cargo lamp, that's your hill descent control. Got that to turn on the outlet. This is for some of the safety tech. We've got our tow mode there on the side. And if you guys do want to see me towing, not with this truck specifically, but with the new Frontier, just look up Ben Hardy tow review and with the Ben Hardy Frontier tow review, and it'll pop up so you guys can see what this truck tows like. But other than that, there's one more look before we pop in. So here's the steering wheel. We've got grippy leather all around. We've got the darker stitching there on the center portion. Now we do have adaptive cruise control. I did have a chance to test this out quite a bit this week. Works great, really nice system, and it was nice driving down to Provo, Utah with it and not having to really worry about traffic and all that. Anyways, over here we've got our volume voice command controls, all that fun stuff. Turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock, and also, well, I mentioned this in the driving portion, but like the steering with the Frontier is definitely heavier, which I like. Here's the center gauge cluster. Notice that you've got the red outlining on the analog gauges, and then you've got that screen there in the center, which you can scroll through a few different menus with the screen itself to give you different bits of information here on the vehicle. Let's see if I can find the fuel economy right there. That's what I've been averaging. As you can see, 19.7 miles per gallon, rather, which I think is good for a midsize truck, and also the fact that I'm at 4,500 feet elevation, and I haven't exactly been driving this truck like nicely, to put it nicely, right? I've been like flooring it all the time and, you know, enjoying the vehicles like I normally do. So I think that's great. So here's the center infotainment system. Pop it into reverse. Notice we have the camera, so you've got the backup camera with trajectory lines. You have that bird's eye view as well. And then we have that camera button that we can press. And then notice we have the front view that also has trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, which is great for off-road use. And also the side camera. So really good from a camera perspective. And as for the rest of the infotainment system, it's easy to use. Response time's great. You've got the shortcut buttons here at the bottom, which are really nice. And like I said, the sound system's great. I've been enjoying it for half a week so far, and I've really liked it. Analog climate controls just down below. This does have a dual zone climate system. We do have heated seats with 2 different modes. USB's got the parking sensor button, and then the heated steering wheel button's right next to that. We have some candy that I bought the other day. And then we've got some storage space, which is great for holding candy if you were wondering. We notice we've got the shifter for the 9-speed automatic. You do have the manual shift function right there. More cup holders, wireless phone charger, which actually works. And then we've got the center console right here. You can see the storage space. And if you're wondering on my comment on that, a lot of car manufacturers with their wireless phone chargers, how they have it placed, your phone slides all over the place, which this is pretty big, so your phone does slide all over the place, but like it always seems to stay charging versus other manufacturers. It doesn't really happen that way. Got the glove box right here. Notice that we have some nice trim here with the stitching on that portion of the dash, and it actually continues on to right there as well. So up top here, we do have a sunroof that comes with the Frontier, and then notice we've got a sunglass holder. You got the control for the sunroof right there, and if you guys are wondering about the window there on the back, you can open it. It's manually operable, and then also all black headliner. So like I said, this is a pre-production truck, but here's the information on it. Feel free to freeze the frame so you guys can see the base MSRP, which I think is really reasonable. But anyways, notice that you can see everything that comes with the Pro-4X package. Now this one's fully loaded, so it has the 3 packages. You can get the Tech, the Pro, and the Pro Premium package. And again, feel free to freeze the frame if you can read all the options all of those packages get you. And then we've got the total MSRP here, $44,315. Let's take her out and see how she drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. So there's your visibility of the hood. Both the mirrors, again, they do have blind spot. And then throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So starting off in the Frontier. I mean, for being a mid-sized truck, it's pretty quick. It actually happens to have pretty much like the most power in the segment, which is pretty crazy. Continuing along, let's actually talk about things here with the Frontier Pro-4X. So first off, and you guys will see this a little bit later, handling with this truck is phenomenal, and it's really gonna play a role when we take it off-road, because handling is everything when you take something off-road. Aside from that, it drives great. It's smooth, it's comfortable. I've been doing tons of highway driving with this truck, and it's done a really good job. Yeah, it's right where it needs to be. This 9-speed automatic is great too, because it's just quick to shift, it's smooth, puts you right in the power band, and it just does a really good job from an acceleration standpoint because of the engine also, but you know, transmission's great. Having a modern transmission like that is just fantastic. But aside from that, road noise, you know, really good for the segment. Like, there's not anything that I can really knock this for from a ride perspective. It basically is just smooth, it's quiet, it's comfortable, it's a great daily driver, and that's why, I mean, I've literally already put like 300 miles plus on this truck in like 2 days. Like, that is crazy. That's how enjoyable this truck has been for me to drive, is I put that many miles on it in just a couple of days. Pretty crazy stuff. Now, aside from that, I want to also kind of touch on the handling again just a little bit, and using this corner to show that you guys can see for a truck, it handles so flat, and yeah, just absolutely love it. Great from a handling perspective. But yeah, on road, it's great. Like, I have no complaints with this truck. And I know some people have been commenting about how Nissan used, you know, the same platform. They obviously modified quite a bit with the Frontier, but you know, used the same platform, and so it's not really a new truck. It feels like a new truck. Like, this thing feels great. And so let's, you know, get into setting things up, and then obviously give the Frontier a rating from a road perspective. I will give this another rating when we do the off-road video to kind of give it an off-road rating, right? But first off, looks wise, I think the new Frontier looks fantastic. Tons of road presence. I have gotten so much attention in this truck, like people just constantly breaking their necks. And so yeah, it's a really good looking truck. Interior wise, for a mid-sized truck, it's great. The seats are comfortable, and it still stays true to like that mid-sized truck segment, to where it has this like rugged feel. Like, the steering wheel feels like it's got like nice grippy leather, feels rugged. Everything feels like really well put together, and like it's gonna last decades. That's the thing that I like about the interior of this. It doesn't necessarily have the most beautiful materials, but everything feels rugged and well put together, which if I was buying a mid-sized truck and planning on keeping it for 20 years, that's what I would want. And then aside from that, from a driving perspective, the engine's great, the transmission's great. That 9-speed automatic is super quick, super smooth to shift, and this 3.8 liter V6 punches fantastically. It's great for the mid-sized truck segment. But I will say, Nissan, if you're watching this, please give us a high performance Frontier that has, like, you know, maybe the V8 from the Titan. Just throwing that idea out there. I mean, I don't think people would be opposed to that. But anyways, yeah, really good. It's smooth, it's quiet, it's comfortable. It's got good safety tech with the 360 camera system, with the adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring. It's just a great daily driver overall. And so the rating I'm going to give this for a mid-sized truck, and I'm looking at this specific truck that's fully loaded as a Pro-4X, 44 grand, is I'm actually going to give this a 9 out of 10. Now, the reason I'm giving this truck such a high rating is it does everything very, very well. It has a good powertrain. It's comfortable, it looks amazing, it drives amazing, and everything about it is just great. And I guess that I didn't really touch on this too much in this part of the or in this review, because I want to kind of focus more on this in the off-road review. Is this truck has an analog feel to it that I love, because you have really good control over it. But it's hard to show that on road. When I take this off road and we do like the high speed trails, you guys will be able to see just how controllable this truck is. And so yeah, that kind of is going into the rating for the on-road stuff, is because you can still have some fun with the truck. But yeah, for a mid-size truck right now for the 2022 model year, 9 out of 10. This thing is fantastic. Now let's get some things up for our video on this 2022 Nissan Frontier Pro-4X. And again, like I said, I'm gonna have some off-roading videos coming up soon. So if you aren't subscribed, I recommend subscribing. I'll see you guys.